Most Americans who accept Islam did not wake up one morning looking for a new religion. They were looking for answers. They were looking for honesty. They were looking for something real. Because for many of them, atheism did not begin as rebellion. It began as disappointment. Disappointment with churches that felt political, with sermons that avoided hard questions, with answers that sounded memorized instead of lived. So they walked away, not toward pleasure, but toward reason. They said, I believe in science. I believe in logic. I believe in evidence. And for a while, atheism felt powerful. No rules, no guilt, no invisible authority, but something strange kept happening. Even with freedom, even with success, even with comfort, the questions never stopped. Why does morality exist if the universe is accidental? Why do humans crave meaning if nothing actually means anything? Why does injustice hurt so deeply if life is just survival? Many American atheists admit this quietly. Atheism answered how things work, but it never answered why anything matters. And that is where the journey begins. Take the story of an American philosophy student, raised secular, trained to question everything. He believed religion was emotional, irrational, outdated. Then one day he read the Quran, not to believe it, but to critique it. He expected poetry. He expected mythology. Instead, he found arguments, a book that challenged him directly, a book that did not ask for blind faith, a book that said, think, reflect, question. He was disturbed by that because Islam did not speak like a religion begging to be believed. It spoke like truth, confident Eno. To be examined. He noticed something else. The Quran did not center culture. It did not glorify Arabs. It did not erase other prophets. It spoke of Moses, Jesus, Abraham. It spoke to humanity, not to a tribe. For the first time, he felt something unfamiliar, intellectual humility. He realized atheism required as much faith as belief. Faith that the universe created itself. Faith that order came from chaos. Faith that consciousness came from nothing. Islam did not ask him to stop thinking. It asked him to think deeper. Another story. An American woman, former atheist, former activist. She believed religion oppressed women. She believed Islam was the worst of it. She studied Islam to fight it. What she found shocked her. A religion that gave women inheritance rights before the West. A religion that separated worth from appearance. A religion that measured status by character, not sexuality. She read verses about Mary, about strength, about dignity. She realized something painful. She was taught what Muslims believe. She was never taught what Islam actually says. Atheism promised liberation, but it left her constantly performing, always proving, always redefining herself. Islam gave her something radical, permission to be enough, not because society said so, but because God said so. Then there are the American soldiers, engineers, scientists, men trained in logic, data, structure. Many encountered Islam in Muslim countries. They saw people with nothing, yet full of gratitude. They saw discipline without force, prayer without pressure, faith without priests. They asked the dangerous question, if Islam is false, why does it produce theich? Its level of inner stability. They studied, they questioned, they resisted, and many finally admitted this is not blind belief. This is submission to a truth bigger than ego. That word submission scares Americans because they think it means weakness. Islam redefines it. Submission is not to people, not to governments, not to institutions. It is submission to the one who created you. And suddenly life made sense. Suffering had meaning. Success had responsibility. Freedom had direction. Atheism said you are random. Islam said you are intentional. Atheism said nothing watches. Islam said you are never unseen. Atheism said make your own purpose. Islam said your purpose already exists. And here's the part that hits hardest. Most American converts say this: Islam did not give them a new identity. It gave them clarity. They did not stop being American. They stopped being lost. They still questioned, still thought, still struggled, but now the struggle had direction. Prayer was not escape. It was grounding. Rules were not chains. They were boundaries that protected meaning. They realized something powerful. Islam does not promise a painless life. It promises a purposeful one. And that is why atheism could not compete, because humans do not just want freedom, they want truth. They do not just want pleasure, they want peace. They do not just want answers, they want certainty without arrogance. Islam did not sell comfort, it delivered coherence, a worldview where mind and soul agree. So when Americans leave atheism for Islam, it is not emotional weakness, it is intellectual courage. The courage to admit, I do not know everything. The courage to say, maybe truth does not revolve around me. And that might be the most American story of all. A journey from ego to humility, from noise to meaning, from atheism to Islam. Not because they stopped thinking, but because they finally did.